And this next one, we got our first female fight on the card. And anytime Mariya Agapova's fighting, I'm going to be tuning in. She is fun to watch, win or lose. She always puts on good fights out there. But Luana Santos, first fight of 2024, and she's already 2-0 in the UFC, so she did well last year, kind of getting her name out there. And coming back down to 125, she had the one fight at 135, and that was a little bit of a weird thing. You know, people were kind of questioning what was up because she was a career 125er, came in 139, and didn't look like she was in the greatest shape. But she said she had a thyroid issue, which caused her to gain a lot of weight. And now I guess she has it back in order because she's back to 25, and she's never missed weight at 125. So if her body's right, I expect her to make weight just fine. Her first UFC fight and most of her career fights have been at 125, and she's never missed weight, like I said. So I think that this is a much different opponent than her first two UFC fights. She's going from fighting grapplers to a crazy striker, so she's the big favorite. Just based off, I feel like how both girls' careers are going right now, but I feel like it's a good fight. And Mariya Agapova making a return after not competing for almost 2 years. She's had a lot of problems, life problems, visa issues, and just some of her interviews and just some of the things that come out about her, it definitely makes you question her mindset and not be as confident in her maybe. But recently, she's looked decent when she's gotten in there and fought, and she's a dangerous fighter for anyone to face. She's gotten exposed a little bit in terms of having weak grappling, but she's been training more jiu-jitsu lately, it seems like. She had a jiu-jitsu match in May, ended really quickly where she got submitted with a leg lock, but at least she was preparing for something like that. Her last two fights, she's been submitted, so obviously that's what she needs to do is get better on the ground because she's hell on wheels to deal with, man, early in fights, 6 first-round finishes, and she's had other fights where she started well and then tired out and lost, and she won some fights that have gone later. She even got that third-round finish over Sabina Mazo, but when you wrestle her, she gets tired, and you can beat her down the stretch, Agapova. But on the feet in the first round, you have to figure out how to close the distance, and Agapova moves in and out of range really smoothly. She'll pull you into the 1-2s, 2-3s. She's throwing heat, trying to knock you out with every punch. And she's really good at rocking you and then jumping on a submission immediately, not giving you a chance to recover. On the feet, she is going to have the speed and power advantage. So ultimately, she has a good chance when it's standing. But she does tend to let herself get backed up, and she'll plant her feet and swing wild, overextend. Her last fight, she did look better on the ground, and she even created some scrambles and survived some bad positions against Jillian Robertson, who's looking really good. But Agapova still gives her back to stand up, and she makes silly mistakes, and she doesn't want to be on the ground in this fight. But she's a killer-be-killed fighter in general. She's had 14 fights. She's only been in 3 decisions. Her last 7 fights have all ended inside the distance, win or lose. And to me, Luana Santos, she has good athleticism, and she'll try to keep it technical on the feet, but I feel like her striking is not the greatest. But she has good judo. She could take you down with that and then control you on the ground, and she has some finishes from that scarf hold position. So this fight to me is going to come down to how locked in Agapova is in terms of being training and sharp and on point, in shape. Her last fight, like I said, I think she did a better job getting back up, defending some bad positions. And on the feet, Santos is a bit hittable. But Santos, I think, is going to probably be able to clinch her against a cage, hit those clinch takedowns. And I just don't trust Agapova's cardio to be where it needs to be. So I think if she can't get her out of there, like in the first half of the fight, Santos could take over and kind of submit a really tired Agapova. So I'm going to predict Luana Santos wins via second or third round submission here.